guys, it's time again for another great anime. Today we're going to be reviewing Papa Kiss in the Dark. Now, this one is a little more complicated because there are subtitlings in this one, but I just felt that it was necessary to put some of the characters' names so you guys can keep track of what's going on in the video. Now, what makes this a little different, and it is a little risky, is that our main character has a relationship with this one guy who is his papa, which, you know, is another term for father. And the relationship they have is a little inappropriate, one would say, but it's still a good anime. There are some good colors and great art design, great characters, great voice actors. But here's the interesting thing. Now, in most yaois, the drama is usually whether or not a character is coming to terms if they're gay or somebody else is trying to get involved with them, you know, like we've seen in My Sexual Harassment, Level C, Kazuna, and so on and so forth. But with this one, it's slightly different. The drama is that this kid found out that he's not related to his father. And it's interesting to see that it crushed him. There was a scene where he was just so crushed that he wasn't related, that he was adopted. Now, in my opinion, no matter how many times I've watched this anime, to me, that still doesn't make sense. Wouldn't you be more relieved that you're not related? But, ooh, excuse me. In most yaois, this kind of situation is it's a little different, but it's not the worst that I've seen. One that I will not review, and I know, guys, I said the same thing for sensitive pornography, but this one, I'm putting my foot down. I will not be reviewing, the Japanese terms is Boku wa Piccolet, which the English translation is My Piccolet. I am not going to review that one because that one's really touchy. Yeah, let's not even open that. We're just going to dive right into this. This has one of the most beautiful artworks I have ever seen. I'm pretty sure that those were real cherry blossom trees, and if they're not, the art department did a great job mimicking... sorry, long day at work. Can't pronunciate properly today. Did a really great job with the cherry blossoms. And in general, they did a great job with everything. You know, the grass, the sunsets in this one is really beautiful. And all of our characters are good. Our main character goes to an old boys school. And, you know, they give all these guys realistic hair color, realistic eye color. Everybody's proportioned just right for their height and their age. And, yeah, I'm going to say this right now, guys. I do not know if a book came with Papa Kiss in the Dark. I have not read the mangas, if there are. And so I'm going to assume that he's at least 18 years old. I'm going to assume that. And if he's 18, he is a very short 18-year-old. At the end of the video, I'm going to pick a random scene so you guys can hear their voices. They've got some interesting voices, that's all I'm going to say. But the turmoil that this boy goes through, it's kind of heartbreaking because one of his friends has a crush on him. And, I mean, it's obvious. It's very obvious that he has a thing for him. He has shown him many times. And, you know, he obviously shows him that he wants to be with him, but this guy, our main character, is just so focused on his papa. It's a little unsettling. And yes, guys, I'm gonna say this. This is not a normal thing in a lot of yaois. I would consider this like a fantasy kind of thing. You know, how many of us? And when I say how many of us, I'm talking both. The girls and the guys, how many of us can openly say we would love to see a fanfic yaoi of Sebastian and Ciel, or Naruto and Sasuke. And I'm not talking about the fanfic mangas for them to actually make a fanfic movie on that. We would all love to see it because that's, that's the fantasy of yaoi. But Papa Kiss in the Dark, I've not seen this since, 2005, I think? So it's been a while since I've seen it, and yeah, I did watch it last night just so I could get a refresher course, but, I had a long day at work, so I've probably forgotten everything. But, I just can't really fathom how this all came to be with the concept of he's in a relationship with his father, and in his mind, there was nothing wrong with it, and they show how he used to act in the past with his papa, and because one of his friends was talking about it, and he got totally embarrassed and started freaking out because he started to realize, oh my God, the stuff I'm doing is not right. But he didn't care, and when you are in that kind of position or relationship where you love someone regardless, oh my. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm sorry, guys. I got a little distracted there. Head poking. I got a little distracted. I'm sorry. But, when you get in that kind of relationship, you tend to forget on what is important. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Okay, I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, guys. Jesus. When you get into that kind of relationship where you don't care and you don't care what people think, I think that makes you a strong person. Whether you're gay, whether you're lesbian, whatever. But I'm getting off course again. Sorry. I get on that bandwagon and I don't know when to shut up about it. But Papa Kiss in the Dark was one of probably my fourth yaois I saw. I actually didn't know anything about it. I saw it on YouTube and I was like, okay. So I just downloaded it onto my iPod without watching it. And when it was downloaded, I'd be in school and I'd be sitting down and I would watch it. And I was like, oh my God, this is deep. And I would see the turmoil in this boy's face when he found out he wasn't related, that he was adopted, because that to me is a big wake-up call, because he's probably thinking, okay, well, now what? But it didn't change the relationship. They kept the relationship, and they're open about it. And there was a scene, which I'm going to actually allow several scenes to go through, but there was one scene, and it reminded me of a situation I was in not too long ago. For many people may or may not know, I actually role play. And I felt for this kid because I was in a situation where I had fallen in love with somebody who was just like a secondary father. And he wound up passing away, and I never really got over it, and I still love him to this day. But I'm a scatterbrain, guys. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just don't know when to stop talking. But let's get back to Papa Kiss in the Dark. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day for me. But Papa Kiss in the Dark obviously has some great characters. Our secondary character, who the father or the papa, he's the kind of guy who's really good looking. Everyone wants to get with. You know that character. You know that guy that's so good looking that every woman wants to be with. You got Sebastian Marcellus was one. Everyone wanted to get with Sebastian. And his papa's no different. And it did bother the boy at one time when the papa, because I'm terrible with names, thought about having, getting into a relationship with, someone that could possibly be the boy's mother and have a relationship. And it hurt the boy because, the boy said his mother left him at a young age. And, that can be troubling for a child depending on it. But we really don't get much information until quarter of the end of it. Because, like I said, there are 2 OVAs to this. I don't know if there's any books. But towards the end, we do see the DNA results. And it does say he is not related to him by blood. The other thing that I love about this anime is the furniture is done correctly. The couch is not too big which we've seen in a lot of yaois, that the couches and the beds are really, really big. But and I think the reason they do this because they want you to focus on the characters, not the furniture. Well, you know what, guys? Guess what? That's exactly what I do. I like to see what they're putting, in the house or wherever they're at, what kind of furniture and paintings and plants that they're putting in, because I think it really speaks a lot about the characters. Because sometimes you can tell, how successful they are by what kind of furniture they have. And I got to say, guys, that TV looks like it's about a 70-inch. So I'd say this guy's got, some good money. But there are sex in this. Obviously there is sex involved, which, some people might say, well, that's not right. I mean, that's his papa. But think about this. The guy could know that that's not his son by blood. And he could be just playing this role as part of his thing with the relationship. There are some situations like that. So knowing that they're not related, when I look back on this, knowing they're not related, I'm not offended by it. Now, when I first saw it, guys, yeah, I was offended. I'm like, how can you have sex with your son? That's pretty gross and inappropriate. But when you watch the end, it does show they're not related. So knowing that, I'm like, oh, well, then there's nothing wrong with this. But you don't know that at the beginning. So it's kind of unsettling. And, oh, I see something I need to cut. I'm going to have to cut that later. And, like I've said before, I love the character design they used for these guys. Our one has bluish blackish hair, which matches his eyes. And the quote-unquote papa has got blonde hair and blonde eyes, which usually, that I don't think they're blonde. I think they're like a dirty brown kind of like. But in either way, I still like it. And I like how, at least in this one, everyone's got different clothing except for, obviously the school uniforms that the boys got to wear. But everyone dresses different, and that's what I like. I like the art style, too. I like the art style that they picked, and they add a little comedy in here. It's not all serious, You got a little comedy, little freak out comedy every now and again. And, that's what's good about this anime. It knows when to throw you for some laughs, and it knows when to be serious. And yes, it is one that you do need to take serious, and you do need to watch, from start to finish. You can't just stop it and say, well, I'm not going to watch this now that I know that there's a possibility this guy could or could not be the boy's father. I'm not going to watch it. No, you got to give it all the way. Because if you don't give it all the way, you're not going to know what's going on. Excuse me for 1 minute. Oh, sorry. I had to get a drink. This gets tiring after a while, guys. But, Papa Kiss in the Dark, I think, pushed the envelope just a little bit. They enter with this risk, and if you stay with it, you learn the truth. Which, it didn't. Did it bother the boy? Yes. Did it change his relationship? No, absolutely not. They continued their relationship. Which, again, I'm going to say I really wish I could find the mangas, because I would really like to see what happens, because I'm pretty sure that, the best friend still tries to hook up with this kid. And, that I love characters that don't give up. I love characters that will keep pushing and pushing until something gives, whether it's good or bad. Because you can't have the good without the bad. You've got to have both. Without having both, there is no balance. And that's what I love in a lot of these yaois. They have the right amount of balance to where you can pick which side you want. And I'm going to say this, guys. The animation that they used for the cherry blossoms falling is unbelievable. It feels real. I feel like I could put my hand out and I could catch one. I don't know what they used, but they need to start using that more. It just looks so amazing. Because I don't know if you guys have ever seen cherry blossom trees in Japan, but they are beautiful. They just bloom cherry blossoms and that's it. They're a special tree and they are just gorgeous. Just absolutely beautiful. They're symbolized in almost every anime, whether it's yaoi, just standard anime or hentai. They're always there because they're just a beautiful tree in general. But anyway, guys, this video it's a long video and I can't go through the entire anime. So this is Jahaya Moondragon, and I will see you in the next anime. Bye bye.